the main reason for your visit to Phuket?
Well, several reasons. One is I wanted to get to know the Australian business community down here as well, and we'll be doing that. But also because Phuket is such an attractive destination for Australian tourists, I'm very conscious of the consular issues that arise here. So I wanted to come down here and get a sense of those firsthand, and to talk to officials here in Phuket about the issues that arise for Australians who, for one reason or another, find themselves in a spot of bother when they come to Phuket.
Okay. Does that mean that business is less priority when you're meeting them after your sort of consular and other official meetings?
No, I wouldn't sort of give one a greater priority than the other. I mean, it's important that we ensure that we meet our consular obligations to Australians here in Thailand. It's equally important that we do what we can to encourage business links between the two countries as well.
Well, let's touch first on business though, because AustCham are having a meeting here, a network meeting, a Sundowners cocktail meeting. How much business is there between Australia and Phuket in particular, or this region of the Andaman?
Yeah, well, the business relationship generally between Australia and Thailand is a very, very strong relationship. Thailand is our 9th largest trading partner, and I think we, Australia, are Thailand's 6th largest trading partner. And that trade has grown dramatically since we concluded a free trade agreement in 2005. In the 5 years since then, trade has increased by 132%. So it's a very strong growth. Trade between Australia and Phuket is not as strong as trade with other parts of Thailand, but this is very much a tourist destination. It tends to attract a lot of Australian tourists. We have a lot of Australians working here in Thailand, including in this resort as well. Wherever you seem to go, there's some of the management of the big resorts in Thailand generally, but in Phuket too, as was the case in Malaysia where I was serving before. Australians tend to be well represented there. But the trade and the investment, a lot of it comes out of the industrial side of the eastern seaboard.
Okay. By the way, I mean, there's this wonderful location here at the Westin. We're here just east of Phuket city or Phuket town, with a wonderful view. Is this a good location for meeting Australians in Phuket?
Naturally, Phuket has so many wonderful resorts, and it's terrific to see this part of the island with stunning views and fantastic facilities. In fact, it's why Australians love to come here. There are so many resorts to choose from, and I suspect there are too many, really, from the point of view of the owners of the resorts. But that's very good news for the travellers, because the costs here, the price of a holiday in Phuket is very low because of the intense competition between the various resorts.
But do you think this hotel is a good location for business-type meetings, being near the city and government centre of the
province? Yes, it's well located, and I've noticed that they have a range of meeting rooms, a business centre, and it covers a broad acreage, so you could have events, as we're about to have one outside for the Sundowners, but quite separately we've got a seminar going in the seminar room here, so there's a range of facilities available in this resort.
Well, just nearby though, you met this morning, I gather, the governor, Phuket governor, the new one, promoted from vice governor. What did you talk about? What were the main issues that came up with that?
We talked about, and the governor himself was very keen to talk about, the issues that can sometimes face tourists here, Australian and other tourists. He said that he's very keen to do what he can to improve the personal safety and the security of the property of tourists to Phuket, and he wants to give that a priority during his term as the governor, and that's welcome news for travellers to Phuket, and certainly welcome news also for people like myself running an embassy, and if he can lift the achievement of Phuket in that regard, well, he'll make for fewer consular cases, I'm sure, for us in the embassy.
Did you raise any concerns on that matter of security or other things for particular tourists or even prisoners as well?
No, the questions we raised were questions he was very familiar with. I had our honorary consul Larry Cunningham there, and he's aware in more detail of the specific issues here. So we talked about issues like problems in some parts of Phuket with taxis, with tuk-tuks, there have been problems with jet ski proprietors as well. And the governor was well aware of those, and he made a very strong commitment to continue to do what he could to try to resolve some of the difficulties that have arisen in the past in relation to taxis and tuk-tuk drivers and with the jet skis as well. He knows that Phuket is going to continue to attract tourists from Australia and from other places as well. It's a very competitive market, tourism market. There's a range of places that Australian travellers can go to, and with the strengthening of the Australian dollar and the sort of strengthening of the Australian economy generally, Australians have more money to spend on tourism, and they can choose to go to a range of destinations and further afield than the traditional ones at Phuket and Bali and the like. And so Phuket has, if it deals with those issues, will remain competitive. If it doesn't, you'll find that Australian travellers will go elsewhere.
And for example, on the tuk-tuk and the taxi issue, did he talk about, say, the prices, which generally perceived as being very expensive here compared to the rest of Thailand? Have there been many complaints from Australians about the prices, not just the treatment or the style of tuk-tuk taxis?
Yes, he was aware of the range of issues, the style, treatment issues as you mentioned, but also the prices, and he's very keen to tackle those issues. He's also keen to hear examples of problems that have been arising, and on Monday he's meeting with the consuls, the honorary consuls for all of them here in Phuket to hear their views on the issues of concern, and so he can try to address them, and it's an opportunity for the consuls as well to hear from the governor and a range of other local officials who are present what they're trying to do to tackle those problems as they emerge.
Talking of Larry, he is part-time, isn't he, as a businessman with his own hotel, charter. Is that really ideal, working for the Australian Embassy as well as honorary consul? Is it a lot on his plate?
It is a lot on his plate, but as you know, he's got broad shoulders and he does a very good job, and we're in the Embassy very happy with the service that Larry provides as the honorary consul, and the Australians who Harry has helped over the years and helped magnificently in some cases, well beyond the call of duty, I suppose is one way to describe it. They're very happy with the service that Larry provides, so that's the arrangement which will continue for the time being.
Right. Can he devote enough time, that's what I mean, for, let's say, crises? We've had obviously the tsunami, we've had air accidents, but other minor accidents. Can he devote enough time and resources to sort of problems like say last year we had the woman who was arrested in the bar, the Aussie bar, and that incident, that must have taken an awful lot of his time up.
But when incidents like that occur, as soon as we realise there's a need, we just put people from our embassy in Bangkok onto the plane, and they come down here and help sort those issues out. So there's not a real problem in providing a high level of consular service to Australians here in Phuket.
What about the numbers? How many, is it 700,000 to the whole of Thailand? But do you know how many Aussies come to this region?
Yeah, last year we had 670,000 Australians travel to Thailand. I think it was about 700,000 the year before. Of those 670,000, 32% came here to Phuket. So Phuket is the most favoured destination. The other main places that the tourists come to are Bangkok, Chiang Mai and Pattaya. Phuket tops the list.
Right. How many businessmen as well as residents, do you know as well, who live in this region? Do you have them registered?
Yeah, not in this region, I can't tell you. Our best guess is that probably between 15 and 20,000 Australians are in Thailand on any day of the year. But as much as we encourage all Australians to register, not everybody does, and so we can't really have an accurate picture of that, but the numbers are strong and they're growing, and also more Australians are choosing to retire here in Phuket and other parts of Thailand as well. And Larry's estimate is that maybe as many as 2,000 Australians are retired here in Phuket.
Would it ever justify setting up a full consulate then? Yeah.
It may justify it, but we have budget limitations, and there's no plans at the moment, given not only Australia but many countries, governments are trying to cut back on their expenditures for broader economic management reasons. There's no prospect in the immediate future for us moving to have a permanent consulate here. We'll be relying on the good services of Malawi.
But the numbers might go up. We've got these direct airlines now. Another one confirmed today is Strategic Airlines from Melbourne to Phuket to take over via Australia. So is it 3 or 4 direct flights now to Phuket?
To be honest, I'm not sure of the numbers. I know that the regular direct flights and the airline companies will make their own commercial decisions on when they want to add flights or take off flights. As I said, it's a very competitive industry, the tourism industry, and that's reflected in the way the airlines will sort of add flights, take off flights to places like Phuket, and more and more Australians will be travelling overseas, and they will, with a stronger Australian dollar, be looking at a range of destinations, and I'm sure Phuket will remain competitive, especially if the local authorities can press ahead and deal with some of the issues in the tourism.
Right. So you think you'll be down here quite often then in the future?
I hope so. To come to places like this, it's obviously very enjoyable, but there's a lot of business to be done here as well. But there's a lot of business to be done in other parts of Thailand, and not least of all to be done in Bangkok too. So I suspect while I'll get here fairly regularly, it may not be as frequently as I would ideally should come here.
I forgot to ask you, you met also, of course, the immigration and the Chief Justice, I think, as well. Anything arise out of those other meetings?
The same issues really arose in the meetings I had with the Chief Justice, with the Chief of Police, as well as the Chief of Immigration as well. And they're very conscious of the issues. They're very keen to do things about them. They're also very conscious, gladly, which is, I guess, a concern to me, that the Australians who find themselves in trouble here are a very, very small proportion of the total Australian sort of tourist population here in Phuket. So I think they have that their view of Australia and Australians is not coloured by one or two of the sort of ne'er-do-wells, if you like, at times, who find themselves in a spot of bother here.
Are there many prisoners in the Phuket prison here? Australians?
In Phuket itself, I'm not sure the exact numbers. In Thailand as a whole, it only have about 15 prisoners.
Well, enjoy the rest of the evening here at Westin, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. I know also, of course, Australians are coming for the triathlon and the Ironman at the end of this month up at Laguna. Yes. They're expected to do well. They always do well. So you want to come and see them?
I'd love to come and see them. I'm not sure we'll be able to come back that quickly, but anyway, the main thing is that Australians are well represented there, and maybe one or two of them will triumph as well.
Perhaps you can train for next year then, and join in the races too.
I'll leave that thought with me.
All right, thank you, Ambassador, for talking to us.
Not at all.
Okay.